The story begins with a single question. How long can the human heart truly wait? In the quiet town of Umuokiri, seasons once kept their promises. Every March, the rains would arrive faithfully, soaking the red clay earth and painting the mango trees green. But this year was different. The sky withheld its blessing. By April, the ground cracked in thirst, and farmers in the market shook their heads in worry. Among them was Nkemdilim. Slim, tall, graceful, and known for her gentle spirit, she taught at the village primary school. Her beauty was striking, her laughter warm, but her eyes often carried a shadow. Nkem was engaged. She had been engaged for 4 years. Her fiancé, Obinna, had left for Lagos with fire in his chest and dreams in his hands. He promised to return quickly, to prepare a future worthy of her. But promises had turned into silence. Letters came slower, calls even slower. Wedding dates were set and broken, and every time the mangoes ripened, Nkem's heart ached a little more. When the first rains finally fell in mid-April, children danced barefoot in the puddles. The fields drank greedily, but on her veranda, Nkem stood still. A raindrop slid down her arm. Instead of smiling, she wept, for even as the land rejoiced, her heart was still tired of waiting. That night, curled on a bamboo mat beside her mother, Nkem whispered, "Mama, do you think he will still come back?" Mama Odachi, the widow known in Umuokiri for her wisdom and herbs, didn't answer immediately. She simply squeezed her daughter's hand and said, "The mango doesn't ripen because you shout at it. It ripens when it is time." But waiting was hard. Far away in Lagos, Obinna was learning how cruel waiting could be. He had arrived with a degree in agricultural science, a few savings, and a confidence as bright as dawn. But Lagos is not a city that bends easily to dreams. When his savings ran dry, he sold his fun. He shared a cramped room with 3 other young men chasing survival. He washed cars, carried goods in the markets, even begged for work at a dry cleaner's shop, paid only in leftover bread. Yet through all his failures, he carried one treasure, a picture of Nkem smiling under a mango tree. Sometimes he would pull it out at night, stare at it, and whisper, "Wait for me." But shame silenced him. How could he call her when he had nothing to give? He prayed instead, but heaven's silence felt like mockery. Back in Umuokiri, tongues wagged. "She is still waiting?" the women at the stream asked. 4 years is too long. A woman is not a tree. Their words stung, but Nkem remained steadfast. Something deep in her spirit refused to accept another man's hand. Then, one evening, a knock came at their gate. An old man stood outside, hunched, weary, with eyes heavy with sorrow. He carried a message. Obinna was sick in Lagos. Typhoid, exhaustion, hunger. Life had beaten him down. The ground tilted beneath Nkem. Her mother, without hesitation, packed her bag. The hospital smelled of antiseptic and despair. Obinna lay there, thinner than memory, his eyes sunken, his voice a whisper. "I failed her," he told Mama Odachi through tears. But she shook her head. "You lived. That is mercy." 2 weeks later, when he was strong enough to sit, she placed his wallet in his hands. Inside, the picture of Nkem was still there. "That girl still waits for you," she said softly. Obinna wept, and then, like dawn breaking after a storm, the call came. A company he had applied to 2 years ago had frozen recruitment, but now they were hiring. Could he come for an interview? Wearing borrowed clothes, Obinna walked in with nothing but hope. He walked out with a job, a fresh beginning, a salary that could carry dreams again. By July, when the mangoes finally ripened in Umuokiri, a car rolled into the village. Obinna stepped out, healthier, stronger, with a small box in his hand, and Kim met him at the gate, her heart pounding. Obinna knelt. His voice trembled. "I know I took long, but I never stopped choosing you. Will you still marry me?" Tears flowed freely as she whispered, "Yes." That weekend, the village feasted under the mango tree. Drums beat, jollof rice steamed, children laughed, and Mama Odachi smiled like a woman whose prayers had finally ripened. But life had another test. 2 years into their marriage, the expected cries of a baby never came. Each month ended in silence. Each silence sharpened the whispers. Maybe she waited too long. Maybe her womb is cursed. Maybe they should try another pastor. The voices grew crueler, but Obinna never let go of her hand. "Let's trust God." Like before, one Sunday during a fellowship visit to an orphanage, Nkem's eyes found a little girl. She was 3, with wide eyes and a torn doll clutched in her arms. Her name was Arinze. Nkem knelt beside her. The girl didn't speak much, but when they left that day, She clung to Nkem's dress. Something inside Nkem shifted. Months later, after paperwork, court sessions, and waiting that felt endless, Arinze became theirs. The first day she called Nkem Mama, tears rolled down her face. Obinna lifted the child in his arms and spun her in the air, laughter filling their small flat. For the first time in years, the silence in their home was broken. And just when they thought their story had found its ending, another surprise bloomed. Nkem fell ill 1 month. Doctors tested her. It was not malaria. It was pregnancy. The day they received the news, Obinna laughed and cried at the same time, lifting her like she was feather light. Even little Arinze danced, though she did not understand why. Another mango had ripened. On Arinze's 6th birthday, Nkem sat under the mango tree in their new compound, rocking her newborn son Chisom. Guests feasted. Drums played. Obinna grilled chicken in the yard while Mama Odachi, older but still strong, watched her daughter with quiet joy. "So," she asked with a wink, "did the mango ripen at last?" Nkem laughed, her eyes wet. "More than one, Mama." And in that laughter was the truth. Every delay, every heartbreak, every unanswered prayer had been preparation. God had not been late. He had been perfect. Moral of the story: God's timing is perfect. What feels like delay may simply be preparation for something far greater than you imagined. Like mangoes ripening in their season, blessings come when they are ready, never too early, never too late.